Hey, hey, Eddie G in the house. How's it going? Welcome to my channel. All right, let's do a part two and get on in this, huh? As usual, y'all know I have a little something to say. All right, welcome to my channel. Come on in. Couple things I'd like to speak on. Couple folks I'd like to speak on. Let me get those work keys off of me. I don't think I have ever seen so many damn fools. Mr. Leach, I know a lot of y'all are watching. I tried to tell you, sir. I've been screaming it, and I've been trying to tell you, your workers are liars. Put your nurse in there, baby. You should have. And a matter of fact, y'all still need to. Because any nurse with any scruples, any morals, is not going to sit back. They are not going to, I would not care what any social worker or any cop had to say. I would tell you if a child was being abused. Y'all have a problem. You have a big problem. You fix to have an even bigger problem. Children were being abused, sacrificed. Now, when I sat and thought about it, mind you, yes, I have me a little margarita here because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. And being in fact, I just got off work. It's 5 o'clock. This was insane how this went down. And I'm here to say, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. Like I told y'all, I put in all those hours in 2018, 2019, and then we rolled into C19 in 2020. I didn't do that to myself. That cross appeared on my hand. There's people out here saying I'm cursed. How so, baby? How so? I'm not cursed. I'm just not afraid to make a sacrifice. And you see, that's why that cross appeared on my hand. Mine. Because God knows. God knows what's in my heart and soul. God knows. God knows I've put in heat in people's homes when I had no heat myself. And I'll give you a good example. I asked somebody one time to loan me $100, and they refused me. Not even 3 months later, I loaned that person $1,000. God knows. What made you all think, because I've known since 2019 that something was happening. I've known you had me hacked. I've known there was no way on God's green earth that you had any of my information or could be feeding me my information without either a camera in my house, flipping that phone camera, or having that phone hacked and flipping that camera. And what's going to get you caught is the fact that you are still doing it. Big Mama, you number one, baby. Frankie, you number two. I am going to do my damnedest to make sure your channels are stripped from you. Frankie, I've got proof on you, baby. Big Mama, I've got proof on you. I don't know what made you people think you could come for somebody and try to play with their mind because you had a platform and you was doing it online. So you thought nobody could prove it. Your actions are what have put you in the frying pan. So I want to say this. There was a lot of people tried to play with my mind to hide what was going on in South Carolina. From the worker that did the money laundering and the theft, the Medicaid, Medicare, to the death of that 3-month-old baby. Mr. Leach, I've been constantly spewing how your workers were liars. Now, I know, before tarot readers ever said it, that there was some stinky going on behind the scenes. For the tarot readers that did spit out the truth, I appreciate you. And there's not a doubt in my mind you are going to get your blessings. Because God knows. God knows what was going on in this state. God knew innocent children were being abused, used as pawns. So for everything my son went through, the torture, the mental torture, the click that he had in his throat that he never had before, for everything these babies went through, how they were mentally tortured, I know God's going to set that right. I know God's going to set that right. For the rest of you, you have no freaking soul. I really want to kind of cuss you right now. You have no souls. And to get on a platform and scream you're divine? No, I'm not ignorant that I believe everyone out here has a special gift and they're divine. Of course not. Some of you are just coin chasers. No doubt. But you see, where you got me wrong, by you hacking and you listening in, I tried to tell you. You can't take a portion of someone's life and think you know them. Baby, I've never been a clout chaser or money chaser per se. I've worked hard my entire life ever since my first job. There have been lapses to where I, didn't work for a little minute, but then I go right on back to work. I had an employer tell me one time, George, you the best thing since they made, and this was a black man that told me this, you the best thing since they made white bread. So all I have to say is this, for every one of you that jumped on that hate train, and I'm talking from family to Carolina to tarot readers on down. Baby, if you think your karma's not coming, because you see, I had enough sense to see the bigger picture. This is what I knew. Paranormal activity, plus cross, plus what was happening in Carolina, plus when my son went into this state, when all of this first went down and I started researching it, I could see the bigger picture of what was happening here. This state was corrupt. Children were being used as pawns. Children were being abused and pushed around like pawns on a game board. And it's really sick. It's really sickening. So when I sit and I look at the bigger picture here, my son was a pawn by God. Simply a pawn. God knew something has to be done here. So he sent in a warrior, baby. And that's me. Because one thing you don't F with is Mama Bear. And that's what you F'd with. You abused my grandbabies. You abused and tortured my son. You even tried to call this man a wuss because he cared about you. He loved you. I'm here to tell you now, baby girl, you will never, ever, 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 and that's going to be your penance. You will never, ever find another man that's going to put up with your lying, thieving, con artist bullshit. It's going to be your penance. You see, you had a man that didn't care that you had 4 children. You had a man that was trying to help you make sure your children were educated. You had a man that was trying to show you, baby, let's give us a piece of land. Let's survive it out. We'll be sitting in the rocking chairs. The grandchildren around us. But you couldn't see that because you put your entire family in the middle of your relationship. And then you had the audacity to talk crap about this man because he had one person in his life and one person in his corner. But yet you vented to your entire family. You let your one-legged, hop-along piece of crap uncle belittle this man. Sir, let me tell you something. You don't corner a man and think he ain't going to come out fighting. You would have gotten exactly what you deserved. And after your wife grieved, she'd have been happy as hell. Because she'd have no longer had to deal with your BS, and she'd have drew your check. Which means she'd have finally got paid back for that income tax you stole and ran off with to your other wife, huh? Y'all some scrupulous, low down, dirty piece of craps. You have no morals, no integrity. For everything you tried to push on me and shame me, baby, you can't shame me. You want to shame me behind that car? That's nothing but a sacrifice, baby. You see, I was sitting here holding my own long before this other baby's mama came into the picture. Long before this baby mama came into the picture. But I have to tell you, I've never seen so many demons. And that's what you are. From some of the family. The ex-husband and his family. Sir, you have a mental illness. You have a true mental illness. To still be stalking and trying to bring chaos and torture into someone's life after 30 years, either you are severely butthurt because it didn't want you, or you have a severe freaking mental illness. I'm thinking it's a little of both. All right, so let's get in it. We're going to do a little freestyling. You know what you did. You know what you did, every one of you. You tried to delay it. You tried to play with somebody's mind. You tried to have someone illegally investigated. Every one of you are going to get what's coming to you. And I know this. One, because I know how the universe works. And two, you put your hand in the middle of somebody that was on a mission of God. A mission to save innocent children. Think about it. Big Mama, you out here hollering, why come we all can't get along? Well, baby, look in the mirror and answer that yourself. Look at how you came for me. I remember your very first readings. 1, 2, 3, or 4. About the old men and the camera. Y'all made a lot of money off of me. You tried to keep me hid so you could sit back and just drain my energy while you tried to play with my mind. So let me go ahead and remind you. Any information, any pictures from where you hacked or had me legally investigated are void and null in the court of law. So I don't know what you thought you were doing. And I saw your little post. We're prepared. We're ready. They're in motion. Well, baby, get prepared. Because when the mighty high is trying to bring down the hammer on demons that were abusing children, do you think your little peon butt's going to be able to stand in the way? Baby, you're going to be like the flick of a flea. And God's going to push you right on out of the way. That's just how the divine works. You see, I didn't mind the suffering. I didn't mind the times I sat and did without. I didn't mind the times. True sacrifice doesn't come from your bank account. True sacrifice comes from your soul. And that's something not many of you know. That is the love of God. You cannot be a pastor and stand up on a podium and preach the word of God while you're a sneaky snake behind the scenes and screwing people over and think your karma's not going to come back to you. Because it will. God will pluck the most precious rose right out of your garden. And you know who I'm speaking to. There's some families here that have done everything they could to slander my name, annihilate me, put me down. Some of them out of pure evil. Just pure evil. Don't you think God don't have your number too, baby? It's coming. It's coming. All right. So what I want to do, guys, is one of those out-of-ring energy reads about the energies around me. All right. And for the record, let me go ahead and state, yeah, baby, I may be country girl crazy where I'm not afraid to hit the dirt and defend me and mine, but by no means am I insane. I can take that test any day of the week. Let me tell you what the problem is with our world nowadays.